I had no idea how toxic and close-minded the fitness community truly was. Why don't you boys and girls go put some peanut butter on some rice cakes and eat egg whites with the rest of you muscle worshipping weirdos? I was just watching a video with Eddie Hall, and he didn't even know how to isolate his outer triceps, and he's one of the strongest, if not the strongest man on the planet. There is a big stigma in the fitness community that it is a requirement to lift heavy weight in order to put on muscle. Does your PP grow 9 inches when you see some guy deadlift more than you? What the hell is wrong with you guys? What we actually see in top level bodybuilders is the opposite. I'll let Kai Green explain this for you guys.
All right, first thing, you're staying here like this in this fixed position and you're doing this. You know, your bicep needs to stretch, it needs to contract, it needs to stretch, it needs to contract. You're here like this, everything's in your front delt and your delts, and you're here. You're doing these movements. It feels good. You get up, you're pumped, you feel like, but you're not really training your bicep. So you might need to drop the weight, stretch, squeeze, stretch, squeeze. That's it. We make it more complicated when we start thinking we need to handle more weight. The primary goal here is not to contract, not to lift weights. You're not a weightlifter. I'll never be a weightlifter. And for people out there that don't know what a weightlifter and a bodybuilder, what's the difference, I'm gonna explain it to you. A bodybuilder is primarily concerned with contracting his muscles. He contracts his muscles against greater and greater amounts of resistance. By doing that, he's able to stimulate hypertrophy and make his muscles grow. A weightlifter is just concerned about moving weight. You know, and he can boast to you about how much he curls, how much he benches, you know, how much do you lift? You're a weightlifter. It's really not important to me. Primarily what's important to me is being able to make my muscles contract efficiently. So I'm going to get a stretch and a contraction. And I'm going to be in control of it throughout the entire range of motion. Does that make sense? Stretch, 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 stretch. Contract. Stretch, 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 stretch. Contract. 3, 4, 5, 6. Now that might not look impressive to people at home. I'm a professional bodybuilder. I'm struggling contracting my biceps against 30 pounds of resistance. There's somebody at home who's like, I could do more than he's curling.
That video is over 8 years old. And that's something I discovered when I was 4 or 5 years into my weightlifting journey. I have been there and done that with heavy weight, compound movements, and yes, those have a place in a training routine, but by no means are they the primary focus of a bodybuilding routine. 10 or 15 pounds when used in that isolation bicep curl is by no means a light weight. It might be light in comparison to the weight you guys are usually jerking around with your whole body, but it is more than enough weight to effectively recruit all of the muscle fibers in the bicep. This is a moderate to heavy amount of weight when being used with proper form. Not some meathead getting hyped up on adrenaline and moving the weight from point A to point B, because that is literally all I see in the gym. People getting pumped up on music, some people even, snorting ammonia to move the weight from here to here. Just because you move a certain amount of weight from here to here doesn't mean your muscles are going to grow. I made a chest workout video last week where I was pinned to a goddamn cross. The amount of criticism was unbelievable. Same with my back workout video yesterday. Ironically, Athlete X made a chest video advocating for similar techniques, and you guys are praising him.
You don't just get down there and bounce right out of it like that. You gotta savor that stretch on the pec at the bottom. So he's in this position for 1 or 2 seconds and then come back out of it. Think of it like a pause dip. Down, he has the tension here. You can see it working, and now come up. And what this is doing is just exploring more full range of motion. There's no magic technique that's delivering impulses right here to this area that's going to make it overhang and get wider. It's just that he's training this exercise through a more intentioned full range of motion.
Just because you bench press 300 pounds doesn't mean you should be discrediting someone for using 15 or 20 pound dumbbells for fly work. Once you take the shoulders and triceps out of the movement, slow the repetition tempo, allowing yourself to squeeze the muscle, increase the rep range slightly, and lower your rest time to increase the intensity, you are able to take your chest to failure more effectively than a 300-pound bench press. So you're able to isolate your chest as opposed to your shoulders and triceps without the risk of injury. This is key. Without the risk of injury. There were some 5'11", 300-pound vegan sack of shit critiquing my fitness video last week. But guess what? The dude is falling apart. He's had, what, a dozen injuries, even multiple surgeries to correct those injuries?
I was supposed to have a leg training day. I did my normal, usual warm-up where, I stretch out my hips, my hamstrings, my quads a bit, and then I was going to go do some squats, warmed up with just the bar, felt kind of okay. As a lot of you already know, I've had surgery on this knee, and because of the surgery, this knee's kind of fucked up and weird. It clicks and pops sometimes, and it's a bit uncomfortable. But otherwise, it was going okay. Then I just added 25 on the bar on each side, and that was going okay. Then I added a 45 on each side, and then out of freaking nowhere, I dislocated this kneecap, which has had no surgeries. But that might take a bit longer than I want it to, because here, when I was doing dips with a 60-pound dumbbell, I pulled my right pectoral, and it was right near my armpit. I haven't noticed any bruising or discoloration, so I don't think it's that bad, but it is really sore, even to the touch, and I heard a popping noise, so that's also not too good.
And we know the prevalence of injuries in people who lift heavy weights compared to bodybuilders like Kai Green, Dexter Jackson, who are training for muscle recruitment, not strength. There was a video about 2 weeks ago featuring Mike O'Hearn, Jay Cutler, and Larry Wheels. If you look at the form and weight Jay Cutler was using on the bench press compared to Mike O'Hearn or Larry Wheels, you would say that his form is dangerous and he's not using a weight that is conducive to building muscle. Yet, Jay Cutler had a peak muscle size larger than any of these men had ever achieved.
Nah, I'll stay light. My warm-up's different from you guys, though.
Look at this, Mo. Look at the angle he's doing this.
Why?
No, you're gonna tell me why.
You see when I squeeze the chest like that?
Yeah, but look at where his elbows are, his shoulder, where the bar comes to. Did you get that angle? On this next one, get that angle. And then compare it to how Larry's doing it on his angle. Do it real quick. Watch the difference on this.
Now I'm always benching for power.
Now look at the angle. Come on up top. Come on up top. Look at these elbows. Tucked. Bop. Pop. Everything's coming into play where Jay's up top. And you can just see him flexing through where Larry's dropping down underneath and tucking it.
Yeah.
I go elbows in if I'm doing power bodybuilding or trying to make it harder on myself. I'm doing what you're doing. So right now I'm just doing close grips, so I'm just going to keep it in tight and down low. But I'll do everything from high necks, which you're basically doing high necks.
My whole point is
to flex it through.
Yeah, flex.
Larry Wheels also worked out with new Mr. Olympia Brandon Curry. Brandon's workout was considered a pump-up workout, at least in comparison to what Larry was doing, yet Brandon is twice the size of Larry.
Yeah, I got a baby to body, Larry, you know? Can't do anything crazy like you, man, you know?
Oh, what, you can't afford another torn bicep?
No,
3 weeks out from the show?
No, I can't do that, man. You know, yeah, I got a baby to body. Gotta be gentle, gotta make sure I survive these next 3 weeks of training.
And people have the nerve to say that steroids are what make bodybuilders able to do pump up work. This is absolutely not true. Why are all of the steroid using powerlifters and strongmen smaller than the bodybuilders that are doing ineffective pump up work? I should have provided a background video on my training philosophy before making fitness videos to be clear on a few things. The amount of weight I was using in the videos was for demonstrative purposes, although I'm inclined to believe that the weight I would have used anyway would still have received criticism. The form I used on each of these exercises is specific to muscle stimulation. I'm not just plopping down and doing the exercise. I spend 1, 2, or 3 sets just optimizing what plane of motion I want to be in for that specific exercise on that specific day. When you're doing a very high volume bodybuilding routine, sometimes you go to do an exercise and it doesn't feel like it did last session. It doesn't feel as good. So you're trying to change where your positioning is, change how you're squeezing the muscle to try to optimally take the muscle to failure. Maybe one day your shoulders are a little sore and you're trying to work out chest. If you think I was using improper form on any of these exercises, by all means, go ahead and do your cookie cutter progressive overload training routine that every other person is doing, or stop being so close-minded and experiment a little bit in the gym. Every single thing suggested by you guys in the comments is something I explored when I was a novice weightlifter. And this isn't me being arrogant. This is me genuinely trying to give you guys some open-minded insight to working out. These principles are what I have observed every top bodybuilder in the world is incorporating into their high volume training routine. I'm not going to make further fitness videos documenting my actual workout routine or what I believe is optimal for muscle growth. I mean, sometime in the future, maybe I will, but people are obsessed with bodybuilder appearance. You know, they don't care if I look like I'm in shape, if I look good. That's not what it's about. It's about having a large amount of muscle. It's about, you know, consistently making fitness videos on YouTube for 4, 5, 6 years. And maybe if I had started making fitness videos when I was still bodybuilding and weightlifting, I'd be in a much better position than I am in now. But what are you going to do? I'm honestly, you know, it's disgusting taking criticism from people who think squats are going to grow your calves, and really irritating. You know, what I don't understand is you guys are so open-minded in regards to your diet. You see how intelligent I am in all aspects of health and diet, and that's not including the stuff I haven't shared on my YouTube channel. There's a lot more up here, and you guys think I'm going to come on and make stupid fitness videos. I understand I did not convey myself as I meant to in these fitness videos, but it's really disgusting and despicable how the fitness community really is. So I'll see you skinny, fat, chubby losers on the beach next year. But as usual, thank you guys for joining me. If you could please like the video, subscribe, hit that bell icon, share the video if you would like to. If you guys would like to support me further, check out Frankie's Free Range Meat, providing you with high quality, nutrient-dense animal foods at the most affordable price. If you haven't been on frankiesfreerangemeat.com, you are missing out. You can also check out Frankie's Naturals if you want to look like you were chiseled from bronze at frankiesnaturals.com. Minimal ingredients, minimally processed hygiene and cosmetic products. If you guys would like to reach out to me for one-on-one health consultations, you can shoot me an email, frankatufano@gmail.com. Some of you guys might remember I was going to do a fitness trial. I had 50 people sign up to do my workout routine. You know, I consulted 50 people on the workout routine, and not one person followed through on it. So it's a little bit disheartening. I would have just done the fucking routine myself for 6 months if I knew that was going to happen. But what are you going to do? Thanks again, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Fuck all you muscle homos.